Why should you consider filing married, filing separate? And what is injured spouse relief? Hi, my name is Jewell and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll explain the main purpose for filing married, filing separate status. I'll also tell you what is injured spouse relief. Either of these can be used as strategies to help contain a tax debt situation. So be sure to watch to the end. Married filing separate means that each spouse will file their own tax return and each person is responsible for their own tax. Dependents can be claimed by either spouse. Here's two common scenarios where married filing separate should be used. Scenario 1. If one person, spouse A, has sufficient taxes withheld from their income, and the other person, spouse B, has not had enough withheld or has not paid estimated taxes during the year, and by filing married filing joint, spouse B's unpaid taxes would be calculated along with spouse A's refund. The final result is either a lower refund or taxes owed by both people. The second scenario, if spouse B had previous tax debt or past due obligation and files a tax return, that amount would be applied to any refund that spouse B is entitled to, whether it's a joint or separate refund. It seems unfair if those debts occurred before the union. There are some rules and guidelines to choosing married filing separate, such as if both spouses did not live in the same household for the last 6 months of the tax year. Generally, married filing separate is ineligible for the majority of the tax credits. If the couple will not be eligible for any tax credits anyway, married filing separate might be the better option since it will not subject the non-debtor spouse to the debtor spouse's taxes. Word of warning about married filing separate and married filing joint as it relates to amendments. Amendments are an additional filing to help correct and update a tax return that had been previously filed. I'll cover more about amendments in another video. If taxpayers amend their tax returns, married filing separate can be later changed to married filing joint status. However, married filing joint cannot be changed or amended to married filing separate status later. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe and stay to the end to see the last option. The best way to compare married filing joint and married filing separate is to actually do the returns for both scenarios. Do not rely on the informational comparison chart that you might get. That's just an estimate. Some tax preparation software is limited in that it cannot perform both types of returns for the same people at the same time. It can start seeing it as a mistake and read technical errors. A tax professional is likely to have robust software capable of doing both returns. Ask your tax person to specifically run both returns to compare. Here's the last option. What is injured spouse relief? An injured spouse is someone who files a married filing joint tax return where the refund has and will be offset by the other spouse's tax debt. I'll do a deeper dive in injured spouse relief in my next video. Most of the time, filing married filing joint is ideal for its eligibility for tax credits. So if keeping the tax credits is important, even though one of the spouses has a tax debt, you might want to consider married filing joint with injured spouse relief. The injured spouse relief apportions the tax credits to the two spouses. So the injured spouse will receive his or her portion of the refund. The debtor spouse's portion of the refund will, of course, be applied to the debt. Tax practitioners often get asked about married filing separate and injured spouse relief after the tax debt offsets begin. Nowadays, many people get married more than once in their lifetime. Taxes and tax debt last after the union, even beyond death. It's troubling to see divorced people and surviving spouses still be on the hook, oftentimes for a debt that was not originally theirs. So be aware of your options and use prudent planning to protect yourself and each other. And now I'd like to share the proverb. It's American. Most consider this from Benjamin Franklin. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I don't think this one needs any further interpretation. For more information about taxes, visit my website in the description below. If what I say is useful, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.